Hello and welcome to Battle 3 of our Path to Glory campaign, starring Vladdy the Baddy, the Vampire Lord, who's leading his Soulblight Gravelords currently at 1,000 points into the next battle on a crusade to gain more glory points in order to build the army and gain renown points so that each of the units can develop and gain extra abilities as they go along. So Vladdy the Baddy currently has 8 renown points, and after 2 battles the rest of the army haven't gained a lot. They have won both battles, but between dying quite effectively in battle 1, which gives them only 1 renown point per unit, and then Mark's ability to roll ones at the end, not to spoil the end of video 2 if you happen not to have seen that, but Mark rolled lots of ones so that they only were gaining 1 renown point across the board pretty much. They're not progressing all that quick on the renown front, but maybe that will change today. So just to remind you, in the army currently is the Vampire Lord leader. He has a unit of 3 Vargeists, a big bad Skewer, however you pronounce that, a unit of Bloodborne, and 2 units of Death Rattle skeletons with 20 skeletons in each. And these things like to pop up the ground at random moments during the battle. They currently have 95 glory points, so maybe after today's battle they'll have enough glory points to add another unit. They'll get 30 for fighting it, they'll get 10 if they win a minor victory, 20 if they win a major victory, and a bonus 5 if their leader, their general, stays alive. Vlad's still on his quest to find an artifact. What he has to do is stand near a terrain feature without being in combat and roll a dice in his hero phase, and if he rolls a 4 up he gets a quest point. After 3 quest points he will be able to be given a free artifact. So far in 2 battles he's attempted that roll 3 or 4 times, and he's yet to have found a single quest point because we've yet to have rolled a 4, and he would have had an extra artifact at the end of the last battle. Mark had got 13 victory points and needed to roll a dice, which he added to his 13 to score 15, i.e. he needed a 2 up on the dice and he would have got an extra artifact. And Mark, being Mark, rolled a 1, didn't he, Mark?
Yep.
So hopefully after 3 battles we will see a change to the army. We might get some extra units in there now. So today's battle is the decisive battle. This one, it's not very, well, there's no objectives. There are points can be scored in the centre and in the corners of the board, but it's very much a point scoring for battling as well. So each time you destroy a unit, for every full 100 points that unit was worth, you score a victory point. And the twists are related a bit more to, rather than objectives coming and going, which is a sort of theme we've seen up to press, you do get some buffs around melee. So there's subtract 1 for wound rolls from one of your units, or there's re-rolling charge rolls and applying strike first. So some of these will come in well for the underdog, which will be a roll off for round 1. And today the Soulblight Gravelords will be fighting against the Kruleboyz. So we've got 970 points of Kruleboyz here. We've got, as a general, the killer boss on Great Nashtooth, and he's got a unit of Gut Rippers with him. And then one of my favourite Kruleboyz units, the Breaker Boss, which is on a Maya Brute Troggoth. So this thing can do damage to itself in order to give itself more attacks. And he's been backed up by quite a bit of shooting. We've got 2 separate Beast Skewer Killbows, and a unit of 3 Man Skewer Bolt Boys as well. So we've not done much shooting so far in this campaign. So I thought I just had to bring a little bit of shooting into the mix today as well. So that's it. So we're still around the 1,000 point mark. And we will set up and show you the territory and set up now. Right, so deployment sorted. The Soulblight Gravelords have the Raiders territory over here, a 9-inch away from the centre, and the Orcs have the Defenders territory here. The reason that the Soulblights look a little bit light is because there are 2 full units of Death Rattle skeletons hiding away underground, and we'll pop up out their graves at some point, no doubt. 9 inch away from the Orruks. This are the Kruleboyz army is 970 points versus 1,000 points. So automatic priority goes to the Kruleboyz. It'd be interesting to choose who goes first here. But initially we're going to have a roll off to see who gets the first, because there's no underdog currently. So roll off, I roll the 4, both roll 4. Let's roll them again, Mark. I'll film the whole roll this time. 6, so the Kruleboyz get the first twist. It's a D3, they roll a 3. So 2 on the D3 table. Until the end of the battle round, each time a unit in the underdog's army, I've won the roll off, so the Kruleboyz are the underdog, uses the retreat ability, no mortal damage is inflicted on it. So that won't come in at all in round 1 anyway. So the other 2, if you roll a 1, you get a bit of protection, and if you roll a 3, you get a reroll of a charge and potential strike first. So those ones will have a bit more impact later in the battle, hopefully. So we're on to turn 1 for the Kruleboyz. I don't have any wizards, so I won't be doing much of anything at all in anybody's hero phase. But I'll need to check each time. Mac, would you like to do anything in the Kruleboyz hero phase?
No.
Okay, so no command points spent there. We will shuffle the orcs forward and come straight back. Kruleboyz movement done. We've aimed for a few points to begin with. So I've just moved the Gut Rippers and the Breaker Boss guy on his Troggoth up into the centre. They're close enough that they'll score this in turn 1. It's the only sort of objective, though it's basically only scored if it's not done over control. Basically, that's scored because it's not being contested. There's no enemy units on it at all. So it's not something that you can contest with control points. The Manskew Boys have ran up there to get a position for next turn. I've also tried to cut the corners because when the skeletons come out, the Death Rattle skeletons, they need to be 9 inches away. So they're deadly for popping up in corners. And the good thing about playing on the 30 by 44 inch board is it makes fewer gaps for them to appear. But I blocked off the corners. Now I did the same here with these kill bows when I set them up. I was made sure they were within 9 inches of the corners to stop the skeletons popping up in this corner here. However, that has meant that they are positioned just over 24 inches away from these guys, so they can't shoot. So that's kind of ruined a bit of my plan there. And the killer boss has also run here. There are points for being within 6 inches of the corner if there's nobody within 12 inches. So not a point now, but he's looking for that point at a later turn. I haven't got any shooting because these guys ran, so can't shoot, and these guys are too far away. I guess you've got no counter movement you want to do, Mark?
Not this time.
There's no point asking you about counter shooting because you don't have any shooting in the army. There's no melee because I can't. Is there isn't even a 12 I can roll there? I don't think. No, so definitely outside of any silly charge rolls. So what we say there is that's the end of my turn.
I've got anything I can do at the end of your turn, which is shadow fast. So on a 3+.
All right, so this is the end of the turn.
Yes.
Right. So I thought you were doing something countering with the thing.
Sorry.
So we've got to the end of my turn. There's nothing else the Kruleboyz can do, and so these have an ability on a 3-up.
3-up, they can make a move as if it was their movement phase, and they do not.
Okay, same as last time. This super fast unit that you've been telling everybody. Nothing's fast or deadly when Mark rolls his ones like he does. So you've got nothing to regenerate either.
Nope.
So all that happens at the end of my turn is I get a point for being in the centre.
Yes.
Okay, so 1-0 to Kruleboyz. So we'll go straight onto your hero phase for turn 1 for your guys, Mark, the Soulblight. Okay, so nothing to be done in the hero phase due to the range of the spells that Vlad would need. So you're on to your movement phase here, Mark?
Yes. What I'm going to do the hero phase is going to search for an artifact in here.
Yeah, so that's got to roll for that.
So 4+.
Come on, this could be the first one of the series. No. So I think that's 4 or 5 fails. I'm going to go back and watch how many attempts it's taken Vlad to find his first quest point, because I'm pretty sure that's 5 attempts at rolling a 4 across 3 battles that he's failed. So he's, you know, you think you have some team out digging for you, wouldn't you? But
it's just not.
I think he needs to get to spec savers. He can't see anything down there. Okay, so we'll do your movement and jump back. Soulblight movement done. We've had some skeletons, Death Rattle skeletons pop up close to the centre, looking at a 9-inch charge towards the brute boss. The Varskier and his Bloodborne buddies, you tend to play these guys close together, don't you? Like a little pally group here, coming in to have a look at the Gut Rippers. Now the big action is Vladdy used his Sangre Bleu to reset up 3 inches away from this hero model here. I say that because that's his rule, he can be within 3 inch, just over 3 inches from a hero. And the VAR guys have come to back him up. So they are looking for their first victory points for blood here for the killer boss. I think the killer boss is 170, so it will be 1 point if you manage to kill him. But Vladdy has almost already given up on looking for this quest.
I think we're going to be abandoning that quest.
Well, it'd be better probably to roll 3 4s at some point and find a different quest. But that's an interesting early bit of action here because we're going to have some charges in there. So Mark has... I'm going to have no counter movement. I'm going to let you do your thing. You've got no shooting. I'm not going to spend on counter shooting though. I don't think it would have been a bad point to spend with this army. I'm not going to spend that just now. Okay, so...
we'll start with charges. We're
going to go straight into the charge phase. So the VAR guys still need 3.
Yep.
And 8 will do it. We could have argued about whether it was 3 or 4 because they actually moved. Did they move 10 or 12 across?
12 they
12 across, right? But they're definitely with that charge. So that's all great.
Vlad's 3
inches. 3 inches because he moved to within that 3, and he gets 4, so he just gets in true Vlad fashion.
Yeah.
Rolling weekly, but that's going to be a key early battle, of course.
We'll do skeletons who need a 9.
We know they need a 9, and then we'll measure the other ones because you might be a bit closer than that.
Not 9.
You've got 4 command points, and we haven't used any yet, and you've already had my turn, so it's probably...
I'm going to use 1 to reroll.
Yeah, let's go for it.
That is not a 9.
5. So, wait for a command point. Right, do you want to just measure quickly here what you need for the Bloodborne and the...
So,
Varskier.
Bloodborne needs 6 and the Varskier needs 7.
Okay, so we'll do Bloodborne first, needing a 6.
That is not a 6.
They're not in. That might have been the one to re-roll if you'd not already.
Yeah, and then the Varskier rolls 3.
So he needs 7, but he's got 3 dice to do it. Is he going in on his own?
He's not. He's not medic.
He's not making 6. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I mean, Gut Rip is a half decent little unit, and I think if you'd got one or the other in on their own, they might not have worked out that well for you. I'm tempted to buy the counter charge because we've got the thing. So we know this is 6, don't we?
Yes.
So I'm going to counter charge into because I've not used any in my phase, so I'm going to counter charge. I'm going to try and get the 6 to get the Gut Rippers into the Bloodborne and try and keep them away from the Valscure. 8. Sorry, bad filming. So we'll move these guys up 8 inches. So they're getting into this side for them. Now I need to keep 3 away from that guy. So I can only really be on this side. So I won't have all of them in. Well, I suppose we can do a pile in and get a few more in, can't we? But they're going to charge like this. Making sure I'm not moving anything there. He's outside 3. He is, especially when I push him, but he's outside 3 there. And then that's it. So that's what I think. So then we're into the fight phase. But it's your fight phase, so you will go first, won't you?
Yes, so I'm going to go with the Vampire Lord first. I'm not going to roll out attacks, he's actually fairly decent at hitting. And I
think, I'm going to all out defense this guy because he's under the most trouble, of course.
So I've got a ability called Anti-Hero, so I've got +1 to my rend. So not a bad shout. So freeze and freeze, here we go. Yep.
Oh, we didn't film them, sorry. 4 out of 5 hit.
Yep. That were a 1.
It was.
4 hits, rend 2, but all out defense takes it down to rend 1.
Okay, so that rend 2 includes a hero bonus,
yes.
Yeah? So I've got 4. Now, the killer boss has a save of 3, so that's quite good. So he's going to be saving on 4s. So he saves 2, which is accurate for 4s. How many damage?
4 damage.
4 damage. 4 damage. 2 each. So that's 4 applied to the killer boss already. Does Vladdy do anything else?
That's all he's got.
Has a single weapon profile. Okay, what I'm going to do, I think killer boss has 10 wounds. So I think the most sensible thing to do would be swing him back into... I think the Vine guy should kill him off anyway, because they need to do 6. So I'm going to swing him back into your leader, just to see if I can have a spectacular roll.
I'm going to all-out defense my leader.
Okay. Do you want to just grab this for me? I can't all-out attack, of course, because he's already got all-out defense. So initially he has his jagged boss sticker. Just double checking his abilities, but they I didn't make a charge, it's not applicable. So 3s and 3s with the first attack. Wow. So that's...
I think you've got my dice there, Tony.
3s, sorry. Yep, so that hits. Rend 1.
Negated with the all-out defense, so I'm saving on a 3. Which we do.
Good save. And second weapon, Bone Crushing Fangs, it's 4. 3s and 3s again. 2 miss.
Did you say freeze and freeze?
Yeah.
That 3 to hit.
Was it? Oh, 1 through anyway. 1 through anyway.
Rend.
Rend 1.
So saving on freeze again.
Sorry, Rend 2.
Goes through on a 1. How much damage?
2.
So 2. Looking for 2. Sorry.
Yep, 2 roll saves.
6s. Not 6s. So 2 damage onto Vlad. But he has got the hunger, so he might be able to heal.
Well, I know. I just wanted to do some damage to Vlad there.
We go with the Bloodborne next, because it makes the most sense.
Yep, because you can save the Vanguard there.
So we are going to just...
Right, with the Gut Rips have an ability. On a 3 up, they're -1 to hit. That's a 3. So they are -1 to hit.
So we'll be hitting on 4s then.
That's applied during any fight phase. I just have to roll with each fight phase.
Looking for 4s. Nice.
Very good roll.
6s do... That was a 3 before I rolled it over.
Yeah,
6s do double hits.
Okay.
So we're adding 3 hits in there.
Well, you were hitting on 4s though, so that's 3.
Yes, so there you go. My bad. So still adding 3
Yeah.
more. And then looking for 3s. Oof.
Yes,
So 4 at Rend 1.
so the Gut Rippers have a save of 5, so they'll be saving on 6s. 2 saves, so 2 through.
2 damage.
2 damage, 1 dead.
A solitary Gut Ripper.
Gut Ripper. And then these guys, and let me just pause a second whilst we do the piling. Alright, so piling done here, so that I've got all 9 of the Gut Rippers in. Just for the more astutely observant, when I rolled the dice here for the killer boss, I did get a bit confused looking at the card I had, because I was like, this doesn't look right, and I was rolling off the previous edition's card. Now, it's balanced out really, because I rolled 1 less attack than I should have done on each of his weapons, but it were also hitting on 3s, not 4s. So it's not really made any difference to proceedings, but I've just dumped those cards to one side because I didn't realise I picked up the old edition. So we're on to the Gut Rippers. They have 2 attacks each. Thank you, Mark. I don't think my hand stuck in the camera strap. 2 attacks each, 9 of them plus a champion. So we're going to...
I'm all out defense.
You're all out defensing. We'll see if it makes a blind bit of difference for you. 6. That was the best bit of any YouTube channel is watching somebody count dice. 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. I'm just going to stick to my Orruk dice, so I've got another 4 to roll after this. I'm all out attacking. So we are hitting 3s and 3s, and crits are mortal.
Did you all out attack over there with your leader?
No, I've all out defensed him.
Ah, sorry, my bad.
So it's 3. So these are all miss. The all out attacks come in, and then we've got 5 mortals. So they're hits, and then I needed 4 more. So 1 more hit. So you have, Mark, to save 7.
Any rend?
I believe no rend. 7 at no rend.
So saving on 5s.
Will the Bloodborne survive? Rolling my dice against me. You've done very well, so you've saved 4 out of 7.
Yeah.
So
Very glad that Mark did well with that to save roll, because it
crits?
looks like I
So 8
completely
in
washed
total,
over my
1
to wound
damage
roll
each,
there,
so
rolling
that is
twice
8
or 2 lots of dice for the hits.
wards.
Completely forgot to roll to wound, so luckily Mark saved a lot and balanced that out.
So,
Very good. 3, so 5 damage total.
so you kill a guy and leave a guy on a wound.
So 1 Bloodborne hacked down
Yep.
with the
All right.
hackers, as they're called.
Sorry, we're counting up today, so there we go.
Okay, so he's got another wound. So 3 wounds each, those
Yes.
guys, yeah? Superb. So, and then we're over to the Vargeist.
We are.
Can they finish off the killer boss who's had 4? He's got all out defense and he's got 6 health left.
So I'm going to all out attack.
You do know you did that with Vlad?
I did that with like. No, did I?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure.
Mark hadn't all-out attacked earlier with Vlad. It's easy to get confusing doing this, but also I feel like banging my head on a brick wall when you watch things back and it looks like I'm trying to cheat Mark out of extra dice rolls and bonuses when I'm supposed to be helping him along here.
It'll be fine. 4s and 3s with crits doing 2 hits. So no crits.
Oh, is it?
That's 1 extra hit you would have had, Mark. Sorry, I'll try to stop cheating.
2
Only
hits.
2.
Rend 1.
Well, he's on 3s for his saves then.
Ooh, both
Saves
saved.
both. So that isn't how I thought that would pan out. But the killer boss is not going down that easily.
So we're going to do is healing.
Well, 1 second, right. So we
Oh, yeah.
just so I don't make sure we don't miss anything. So that is the end of all your combats, isn't it? The Bloodborne have gone. They killed 1. Yep.
Yep.
And then you can't score any points there. So there's no points and no units have died. So it'll be 1-0 at the end. This has been different scoring to previous games, isn't it? Right, so then you want to heal up.
Yeah, we'll do Vlad first. So
D3.
D3. So,
Yeah, he heals 1.
So
Ha 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 ha. You got 1 damage.
that guy.
And, oh yeah, let's go on that. He heals. Your key moments and rolling ones
I know.
will never ever be surpassed, Mike. So that's the end of turn 1. So damage wise, we've lost a Bloodborne and we've lost a Gut Ripper, and you've still got a unit of skeletons to pop up. So priority for turn 2.
Yeah.
5, 6. So it stays with the Kruleboyz.
Underdog roll off, I guess.
Underdog roll is you. Yeah, well, you automatically get the underdog because it's 1-0. 1. So that gives you, I believe you choose a unit. Pick it up. I believe you choose a unit, and you'll get plus 1 save or -1 to wound.
The underdog can pick a friendly unit, subtract 1 for wound. Easy for you to say. Wound rolls for attacks that unit this battle round. I'm probably going to put that on the Bloodborne.
So the Bloodborne will be -1 to wound.
Yes, -1 to wound.
-1 to wound. Okay, I'm happy with that. So you want to do anything in my hero phase?
No.
I'm both back to 4 command points. Okay, I will do some Orruk moving and come back. The simplest movement phase you'll ever see. The brute boss, breaker boss, has moved forward 5 inches. He's eyeing up the Vargscure here, if he can avoid that. He doesn't mind getting pulled into the Bloodborne. Doesn't really want to pull the skeletons in at this point. But we've now got some shooting. You know any counter movement you want to do? Redeploys?
Do you know, I might I'm not going to actually redeploy anyone. Who can you shoot? Can you shoot the Vargscure?
I'm going to shoot into these skeletons.
The skeletons are going to stay there. They can take a shot to the face.
Right. Well, we'll do that then, because we've got these guys up here, my 3 bows. They can shoot with their aimed shots. They have a hasty shot that goes 12 inches. They're outside of 12, but they're inside of 18. So we'll do those guys first. So the aimed shot is 1 shot each +1 for the champion. So it's 4 shots. They're hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s, and crits are auto wounds.
See, I don't just do it to Mark, I do it to myself as well. The Bolt Boys have an ability called Pick 'em Off. They didn't move, so they should have been +1 to hit. So that 2 that I rolled to hit should have another hit. So my uselessness balances itself out in the end.
Killed 2 skeletons.
Unless you say the wards.
And we do not.
Okay, so 2 have been shot by the guys who ran up there. And then the beast, well, these are 2 separate units, but we'll fire them together because obviously it's the same weapon profile. So 2 attacks each, hitting on 4s, wounding on 2s.
And again here, this should have been hitting on 3s because of the Pick 'em Off ability.
Just to make these 3s. I'm going to spend a command point, make these all attack 3s. Oh, I came in for one of them. And
Basically wasted a command point for an ability I already had there.
Oh! It's 1 through at 2 rend.
So clean through, how much damage?
It's a d6. So 4 wounds.
So 4 wards.
4 wards.
We don't say one, so
4.
4 boner boys.
I hoped to do a little bit more there, because I thought if I get a couple of those d6s through, which I made it 3s and 2s, and still only managed to get 1 through. Because if that rolled very well, we've seen that before when we played. If these guys roll excellent dice, then they can be quite devastating. But we've lost 6 skellybobs there. You have no counter shooting, so it's just a charge phase. I have 1 charge to look at, and this guy needs, I would say, 6 to be in to the bag skewer. He rolls 8, and so he brings himself into that little gap there.
Let's have a look if you've pulled the skeletons. I don't think you have.
I think they're just outside.
But I am going... Are you done your charging, Tony?
That's everything that can charge, yes.
So I'm going to spend 2 CP and counter charge.
Oh, well, that's an excellent use of points, of course.
So, for the skeletons, so they need 3 inch.
Well, they're outside of 3, aren't they?
They are outside of 3.
So they need 4.
They need a 4. And I don't know if I can spend a CP to re-roll that.
Have you got a CP left?
I've got 2.
Oh, yeah, so it's just a new round, isn't it?
I just don't think you can re-roll counter charge.
Ah, right, no, that makes a good point. Yeah, because it's 2 points for the counter charge, isn't it? Well, that's a spectacular thing. So just
We do tidy this particular mess up shortly.
Being pulled in.
we're going to go into the fight phase then, I guess. I'm going to... I don't hold much hope of this my leader surviving, so I'm going to go with the brute boss first. Now, the brute boss has an ability. So he really wants to gonk your Vault Skewer on the head. So he has an ability to do harm to himself. He takes a chunk out of himself, a bite. A D3 mortal wounds to himself. So he's doing 1. I wanted it to be more. So he does 1 damage to himself, and that gives him 2 attacks extra with his clubs. So his first weapon...
what's his rend profile first?
1 and then 2.
1 and then 2. So I'm not going to bother with all-out defense because I've only got to save a 6 anyway.
Okay. So his first weapon is the Bind and Goad. 5 attacks. This is where I'm going to spend my all-out attack in this phase. I spent my all-out attack in the shooting phase, but this is where I'm going to spend my all-out attack in this phase.
I do apologise, I've got a save of 5, not 6, but I'm still not all-out defense.
No? Okay, so with the all-out attack, it's 3s and 3s, and 6 is a mortals. No? I've got my little bonus for you as a all-out attack there, though. 3s. Oh dear. So you get 2 through at Rend 1.
So looking on 6s. Nope. How much damage?
4 damage total.
4 damage total, so looking for 6s. Nothing, so he's took 4 damage there.
So it's taken 4.
He's half health.
Now, this is 4 attacks, but I've got 2 because he's done the damage to himself. That's why I like to do D3, because he can heal them up, but each damage he takes adds 2 attacks. So if you get this, if he takes all full D3, it gives him 10 attacks here. But we're working on 6s with 3s and 2s.
6s do anything?
Nope. It does if I take a different army profile. Oh, but that's alright. 5 at Rend 2.
So they clean straight through. How much damage? 15.
So
well,
3 each.
Let's fail this roll. And
so this could be a Vaskio gone bye-bye.
that is a Vaskio gone bye-bye, so he's not done anything today.
No, so a mixed campaign for him so far.
Yeah.
From psychotic kamikaze style fighting in the first battle to being the MVP in the second battle to getting gonked on the head quite comprehensively in the third battle. Right, so where are you going to... Oh, and that gives me... How much are you worth?
I believe it's 160 points.
So that's 1 victory point, because it's for the 100.
So I'll add that to the tally when I find the right sheet.
That's fine. So, yeah, 170 points. So each full 100 points that a unit's worth when it's destroyed gives 1 victory point.
Right, so I don't hold out much hope for the Bloodborne.
No.
So they're going to attack into the Gut Rippers again. So 3s and 3s with crits doing 2 hits.
Should be rolled me 3
Yes.
up. So 3 up, then -1 to hit.
Oh, so 2 hits. Could have done without the first one.
Yeah.
2 wounds. Rend 1.
Round ones are 6s. So both through.
4 damage.
4 damage. So that's 2 dead good rippers. Do they have any other weapon profiles?
That's all they got.
Okay, I'll save that then. And Gnash Tooth. I'm going to give him all out defense again. Because that's the command point. Spend for this turn, and then, but for his hit, should I go into... Yeah, I'm going to go into Vladdy.
Okay.
So grab this a second whilst we use his profile here, and I won't use the old card. I'll use the correct card. Because why wouldn't you? You can leave that. So he's 5 attacks.
What's your Rend?
They're only wearing Rend 1.
Okay, I'm not going to roll out defense.
Okay, so 4s and 3s, using the correct thing. So the crit is a mortal. And they both miss. So you've got 1 straight through damage 2.
So we're 2 dice looking for 6s.
Yep, save 1. So
roll him up to 2.
up to 2, and then he has the Gnashing Jaws, which is very similar. It's exactly the same profile. So 4s and 3s. That's not bad, but the 6s don't do anything. 3s. So 3 at Rend 1.
So we're looking at 4s for Vlad here. So how much damage?
4 in total if 2 have gone through.
Oh, this could be the end of Vlad if I don't save these.
What's his
He's only got...
needs 6s, does he?
Yes, he's only got 5 health.
Right, 5 health to go. Or 5 health total.
That is Vlad out of here.
He's killed Vlad. Oh dear.
So that's another victory point for the Orcs.
Yeah, what's Vlad's points to Vampire Lord worth?
160, I believe, is the same as the Varg score.
You should have really finished this guy off earlier. It didn't really happen, did it?
Should have done.
The Vargeist might do it now.
Yes, so the Vargeist are going to get a bit of retribution.
Yeah.
Which is a big word for Friday.
They need to do 6. I've given him all out defense again.
Yep. Cool, so freeze and freeze.
3s and 3s, 10 attacks all in. Looking to do 6 damage total.
So those 6s become 2 hits.
Yeah. So he's still on 10 to wounding rolls.
So we have done 5. Can't pick them up. 5 at Rend 1.
Right, so he has a save of 3. I'll give him all out defense 2, so he's back to 3s. So 2 through. What's the damage each?
2.
So he's done 8. So he's got. I'm going to flip that to 2 because he's got 2 left. Do they have any more weapon profile?
That's it.
Okay, so they will stay locked in battle, and you'll have to finish him off next time. And then I've just got the Gut Rippers. So I'm down to 7 Gut Rippers.
They're -1 to wound.
They're -1 to wound. I absolutely true. 7.
I believe I spent all my command points as well.
13. Got a couple of red ones in here. It's happened. So yeah, no buffs for the Gut Rippers. So I believe it's 4s and 3s. Oh, that's not a great roll. So they're all out of there. That's a 3. So lots of misses. 3s to wound. Oh my word. 2. No rend.
Is it
Oh sorry, I just rushed them.
there were 4. There were 2 4s that you left in.
Right, well the 2 4, yeah. So they would have needed 4s, not 3s. I forgot about the -1 to wound, but it would have worked out. So still 2.
What's your
no
rend?
rend.
No rend, so 6s. Both go through. How much damage?
1 each, so 2.
2 6s. So
So
2.
nothing saved. So you've taken 2.
That kills another one.
So but the Bloodborne's still there.
hanging in there, and I believe that's end of combat.
It is, and that's the end of my turn 2, wasn't it?
Yes, so D3 skeletons return.
Well, we'll just score. Yeah, go on. Skeletons back. So 2 skeletons back. You've got nothing else to heal. Now, points wise,
you're on.
There's nothing else scored because you've got toes in the centre. We're not scoring in the corners because these guys aren't close to base. They're within 6 inches of the corners. They're outside of that. And so I just scored the 2 victory points for the units dispatched of who were 160, 170, and you get 1 per 100 points. Okay, we're just going to do a tied up correction. I got very confused. Sometimes it's difficult when you're on the camera and doing 10% of things. Mark rolled a 3 for the charge with the skeletons. They were just outside 3 inches, so obviously they get in because they would be then within 1 inch on the charge. So that was my mistake. Easily rectified though. My guy here, the break boss, would have been going all out for the Varg skewer anyway, so it wouldn't have affected who he would have attacked. But Mark would have had his attacks with his death rattle skeleton. So we're going to add those and then go into his movement. So I've taken 1 wound, which he did to himself.
Yep.
And then Mark is going to death rattle skeleton away at him.
Yeah, I just need to get 28 dice.
That could have been something, mistake, which we wouldn't have been, if there'd been other factors there, we might not have been able to correct it. But when you can correct it without it affecting the rest of the game, I always find it best to. Especially when I've accidentally cheated and robbed you of two command points for a counter charge. But if you roll higher than a 3, you know.
So we're looking on 4s and 4s here.
How many attacks are all in? What we did, the 2 which would have come back just stood out to the side, but they'll come back in a second. So how many was it?
So there's 14 left, so that takes me to 28 attacks.
29.
And 1 week champion.
Are you hitting on what's?
Hitting on 4s, so bear with me while I scoop all these out.
I should know this by now. It's the 3rd battle of the same units. But
it's amazing how sometimes it just don't sink in.
Yeah, it's just too much going on. It's amazing how distracting it is holding the camera while you're doing these things as well. That's something, if you're watching people do YouTube, I've got a newfound respect for people who film whilst they're playing.
So we have got 9 at no rend.
9 at no rend. So I'd use me all that defense and everything. So I'm going to re-roll these, and it's 4s for the save. So those 2. So I've taken 5.
Yep, 1 damage each, 5 damage.
1 damage each. So he has 6 health, but he goes to 6 there. Right, now that was represented for the last one. So he would have been on 6 at the end of the thing. Now he has an ability at the start of the turn, which would have been like hero phase, every start of every turn to heal D3. So he heals 1 back.
Now how much else he got in total?
He's got 12 health and he's taken 5, so he's got 7 left.
And then these little boys come back.
Yeah, so then we add those back in, and then Mark's movement phase, he just has his skeletons to bring out, which have to be 9 inches away from...
which, that's why that dice was sat there.
Oh, the dice. I'm spectacular at moving dice that we need. There's so many dice everywhere, and the ones that are actually representing something are always the ones I go and grab. Okay, so it's your shooty phase, chargy phase.
I got no shooting. They can't charge because they're out of range and they're blocked by their own mates.
Okay, so we're straight into fighting, but you will choose first. Who are you going to do? You've got 2 left to...
I think the Var guys need to do this killing, because if they don't kill, I'm in a bit of a bad...
I don't think he'll kill you back.
I think they're my main hitters now that I've lost the Varg, Skjor and Vlad. So
that's interesting. Then you got 2 extra in there, so you could actually kill that brute.
Yeah. I've got no command points because I spent them all.
Yeah, I've got 1 left, I think.
So we're going to do 4s. Sorry, yeah, these are 4s and 3s.
You're doing the bar, guys.
Yeah, 4s and 3s.
Okay. I'm going to let him die. I can't spend me all out defense.
That becomes 2 hits.
Yeah.
And then 3s.
I don't think the all out defense is.
So that is 5 at rend 1.
So this is 4s. I forgot, he's got a good save actually. Could have helped, but I'm going to go for the 4s. It would have made a difference with this dice. It would have been 2 through instead of the 3 through, but it still would have been enough.
6 damage.
There. So you needed 4, yeah.
Yep.
So I did not spend my all out defense wisely. So you gain a victory point. He's worth 170.
Yeah, first victory point for the Soulblights. And then over to your turn to pick one.
Well, I don't think this guy is going to do much damage to the Gut Rippers on his own. So this guy is going to splat as many of these as he can. So in any fight phase, he rolls a d3 to wound himself. So he's wounded himself 2 more. So he's up to 7 wounds. But that gives him 4 more attacks with his clubs. So do you want to hold that? See how many skeletons he can splat. Because ideally with the skeletons, you want to splat all of the skeletons. And then they can't regenerate. But his first weapon is the goad, which is 5 attacks. Now, this is where I should spend the last command point. All out attack. 3s and 3s. Made no difference there. Lots of misses. 6 don't... So, sorry, 6 is the immortal with that. And that's a miss. So you've got 1 mortal, 2 damage, basically.
So 2 dice. Nope, that is 2 dead skellies.
So the 2 that came back can go back away again. And then, because of the harm he did himself, he's got 8 attacks here with his club. So this is the big one. 3s, then 2s. 6s won't make a difference. And the 3s came in. Just 2s to wound.
There's a lot of 2s.
And that'll do nicely because that is 6 hits, 18 damage.
What's the rend?
Oh, sorry, 2. Because they go straight through.
So it goes clean through.
I
So
skipped over it, but that's what I was expecting. Just 2
you alright to hold this while I grab the dice?
Absolutely.
So 16 ward saves.
So you've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 left. So you could keep some alive if you get enough.
Yeah.
The unit could stay there and then they can regenerate, which is the exact thing that the skeletons are meant to do, aren't they? Just refuse to die.
Well, we save 2, but there was 16 dice, so there's 14. So he is wiped them perfectly off the board.
I just played a very effective game of whack a skelly bob there. And they've gone, you could have just done with 1 more there, clinging on for a little bit longer, couldn't you?
And because you killed my hero, I can't bring half the unit back.
Oh.
Because they've got an ability, Soulblight have a faction
But
ability.
that relies on the Vampire Lord being on the
Yes.
table.
Because we are a death march.
How much do Death Rattle Skeletons cost?
So because they're reinforced, they're 160, I
So
believe.
it's another victory point
Another victory
for the
point.
Kruleboyz. This is not going to plan again for the Soulblight.
Vlad's rethinking his trek to the Akshi coast. So that leaves the Bloodborne. So he's going to turn around and stick it into the big boy.
Oh, right, okay.
So freeze and freeze. Crits doing 2s. Oh, so we have 1 in.
Yeah, so 4 hits out of 3, that's excellent.
So 2 hits, rend 1.
So 5s, both through.
4 damage.
He's down to 1 health remaining. See, that's the difference there, Mark. He's coming on by a health and can heal. Your skeletons needed 1 more skeleton stick to hang on to do that.
Yeah.
And the Gut Rippers are going to then finish off the Bloodborne. So 2, 6, 9, 12, and these 2. Okay, so we're just going to go on the normal profile. So 4s and 3s, if I'm not forgetting.
You want to go, Cromwell?
You can do, it's a really terrible film. Right. 4s and 3s to wipe you out. I don't know why we're rolling all these. Oh, well, that's why. That's not great. So, these all come out. Oh, that is low. Oh, so there was 1 mortal in there. 3s. And 1 miss. So 3, no rend.
So we're looking for 6s. No 6s. And then,
So that's 4 damage total.
so 4 wards is 6.
Yeah.
So I need to save 2 of these or he's dead. I saved none of those.
Unfortunate. And how much did the Bloodborne cost?
I believe they're 120.
That's another 1
That's another
victory
one.
point.
I think every one of my units you kill, you're going to get a point.
Yeah, everything's 100 and something, basically.
So that takes you to 5, so it's 5-1.
Okay, that's the end of turn 2. It's 5-1. It's not looking great for Vlad, who's already taken an early bloodbath. But the Vargeist, it's got a point in the corner here. But it's not looking great. So we roll priority for turn 3. You get priority.
I think I'm going to have to take it.
Well, it's the first time in a while you've had chance, isn't it? It's not
It
really
is,
going
yeah.
against you. I think partly because I've been bringing an army slightly under 1,000, trying to give you something to go at, but then starting and keeping priority seems to have been the theme.
It's interesting how different armies perform at 1,000 points. Like the Khorne were mental at 1,000.
They were, and I guess it depends what you select as well. It's, you can get very different looking armies, can't you, in things. So I've gone for a little bit of shooting here with the Kruleboyz, whereas I could have just got a few big beasts and made them bulky. But trying, like I said, that didn't go well, having a bloodthirster against them. So I've tried to have a little across here, but some close dice rolls have made a difference. And this, I think this here, if you'd have took the leader out early doors, been an entirely different battle because you've had them come across. But anyway,
I think I'm still the underdog because I'm behind on points.
Definitely. So do you want to roll your D3?
Yep.
And see what you get here.
Oh,
That's 3. So that means you can select a unit to re-roll charges, and if they charge in, they get the strike first.
I think it's going to have to be the skeletons due to their...
You're not going to charge these guys?
Well, they can travel 12 inch.
Yeah.
So they've got quite a decent move opposed to these guys who've only got 4 inch move.
Okay, no, it makes sense. We get 20 of them in there. You only do well. We're actually start of another turn, so he's got 1 wound left, but he heals D3, so he's got 3 wounds left.
Nice. So these guys can move 4 inch. So we're going to move them up to the dice.
So this is turn 3, isn't it?
This is turn 3. And these guys are going to...
You're going to go here for the point.
I think I need the points, and it keeps them away from the shooting.
It does.
So, unfortunate that I would like to get them in the fight, but I need the points.
Yeah, because if you get the points and before you do some fighting, they can redeploy and things, can't they? So they can perhaps do some damage later on. So you're just going to go for a charge with the skeletons, I guess.
Yes, which is a 6 inch charge.
Okay, and I won't cheat you out of the charge roll this time either.
So we're in.
You're definitely in with an 11, making no arguments there.
So we're just going to move the trays.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, we're just going to take off the trays.
Well, you need them to be away 3 inches away from the gut rippers, really, don't you? Because you don't want them pulling in. So that's fine.
Hey.
And then you want as many in within 3 inches of him there.
Well, with the 25mm bases, they're quite easy.
Yeah. So they're piling in there. Be interested to see what we can do with this shooting over here. I might even move these guys back and start, if I be those guys, if I move those over there, they can start claiming points.
And they've got strike first anyway.
They have got strike first, but they would have had strike first, so it's all good. We're in turn 3, aren't we? So we're back to things. So I've got to give them all out defence, really.
I've got our all-out attack them.
Yeah, that's the only thing we've got going on this turn. Makes perfect sense. The gut rippers are observing what happens.
So we're going to have 41 attacks here.
41 attacks to be able to do 3 wounds.
Well,
And I'm working on a 4 up save, but with all out defence, so effectively a 3 up save.
So we're going to roll these twice, then remove one, because...
You're doing 21 first, yeah?
Yep, and as always, we're going to throw a dice on the floor.
You figure that one out.
Yep, so 3's hit.
3's hit with the all out attack.
All attack.
Do some damage now. Can the skeletons take down quite a significant unit? I think he's worth 200 something. He's worth 2 victory points if he commands this.
Oof. So that gives me 3 hits. So we'll take that one out to count.
You've only done 3.
I've only done 3.
Out of 21.
So here's the next 20.
Come on, Mark. You can do better.
Apparently not. That was one before I rolled it, and then again.
So 3's to wound? Or is it 4's to wound?
4's to wound.
Okay. That's a bit better.
So that adds, so we've got 5, 11.
11. So put them back in. I'll roll those.
Need one more.
Need one more.
No rend.
No rend. So I'm saving on 3s. So you need to see 3 1s or 2s. 1, 2, 3, 4. You've done it. He is dead, and I'll double check. I think he's worth 220, so that's 2 victory points for you. Excellent use of the. In fact, the twist didn't come in there, but he was right to apply it to them. But excellent use of your skeletons to take down the big guy. That's going to be end of turn. I should have really counter shot, but never mind. And you're going to get 1 here.
Yep.
And 2 there. So that was Good little comeback turn. So what score is that? 5-4 or 5-5?
Takes me to 4 at the start of this round 3.
At the end of your turn.
At the end of my turn, yeah. So I end of my...
Yeah, so that's pretty good, but I don't think it's going to be enough for you to come back. Right, so my turn 3, we've got no hero phase. I'm going to drop these guys 5 inches just to be within the corner, because that's going to give them a point. These guys are not going to move because I'm going to shoot a second, and these guys are going to inch forward to need the 3-inch charge. So we're going to do shooting. Shout up if you want to do anything in one of my phases. Do you want to redeploy or anything like that?
Do you know, I might redeploy the skeletons.
You want to redeploy the skeletons?
Because how far do they shoot?
Well, they shoot 24.
So how far would I have to get away?
Well, that is 24.
I'm not getting away from you. Oh, well, it's a D6, isn't it?
Yeah, you need a 6 to get away from the shots, but you would be adding it to my charge. So I'm going to charge you on a 3. If you're a 6, I'll be charging you on a 9.
So I'm going to spend... So I've got lots
But if you come out of this circle and I leave a toe in it, that's another point to me.
I'll just leave one dude behind. No, but then if you cap one dude... I could go the other side. We'll figure it out. Let's...
You're going to redeploy them?
I'm going to redeploy. For a massive 2-in.
Yeah, it's always the case. I mean, Vlad has redeployed himself, I think, 4 times during the campaign so far, and rolled a 6 every time. Yeah. So the only thing Mark's been fantastic at so far is running away. I think they can go a little bit further back.
Yeah, so it gives you a 5-inch charge.
So it's a 5-inch charge, and unfortunately, you're still going to be comfortably within 24 of the shooting. So we go to the shooting next, which will be 4 attacks. I can all-out attack in the shooting phase. I've got 3 command points left.
Again, completely forgetting the ability that gives them a +1 because they haven't moved.
3s and 2s with these into the skeletons. Well, if crits are mortals, auto wounds rather, and that's 1. So this needs to not be a 1. Yeah, so you got 4 auto wound, not crit, so it means that you can roll your save still.
What's your rend?
So it's rend 2, so probably straight through.
Straight through, so how much damage?
D6. So you've got a total of 9, 10, 13 damage. So that's when the skewers roll, the Kruleboyz roll pretty good. So 13 damage. You've got more than that left though, haven't you got all 20?
I've got all 20.
All 20, so 13.
So looking for 6s. There's not a single 6. So
you're down to 7.
Yeah.
I would leave a toe in the middle.
Yeah.
I mean, if the gut ribbs can wipe them out in hand to hand, then no, that's where it's going to be a problem for you.
And then we'll put one guy back. So we took one more and we just slid that.
That's bang on. Scare me, bouncing the plastic about like that. Yeah. Right, and then I've got a 5-inch charge for the gut rippers. We'll roll it in the middle. There we go, 7. So these guys jump into battle here.
So you get another victory point because you wiped that unit, taking you to...
No, I didn't wipe the unit.
You didn't?
It's reinforced.
It is.
So I will wipe the unit now, unfortunately. So I can all-out attack here as well because it's a separate phase. This is the fight phase. So all-out attack with the gut rippers to go down to my last point. I have 7 of them left, which gives me 14, 15 attacks.
We do, so anybody who knows the rules will know that I've undercosted the skeletons, so Tony actually needs an extra victory point, so he's already on 6.
How much are they?
They're 100 exactly each.
So it's worked out. So then when you kill a full reinforced unit, it'll work out to 2 points, won't it? That's probably killed the game off for you a little bit, just confirming that, but 8, 10, 12, 15, so 3s and then 2s. I'll double check I've not got that wrong. I have completely wrong. It's 3s and 3s. The 6s are crits.
I'm all out. Oh, should I declare?
You can have all out defense.
Yeah, we're going to all out defense, what it matters for him.
So 3s and then 3s for these. You might survive it actually, because I think so. Then you've got 6 saves, no rend.
So we're saving on 4s. How much damage each?
Well, you're 5, 6, 7 with the auto one. So 7 done, 7 left, but you've got your wards. So you need a 6.
We've got 1-6 on your dice.
Oh. Well, the one that's digging himself out of his grave has got to be the one that survives there. That little model.
You probably noticed that we keep taking away the champions, but we play a rule that the champions always where it needs to be.
Yeah, champion stays. It's too prissy about which model's which. Okay, so that stops me getting a point.
It does.
And you can heal a couple up.
Well, it actually stops you getting 3 points because the unit's worth 2 and you haven't got the centre.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right, absolutely. So it stops you getting 3 points. And he can hit me back.
He can. So,
because I tend to forget that rule as well, that the other people get to hit me. It's,
so, champion, 3 attacks, 4s and 4s. Oh. Looking for another 4.
It would have been great if he'd done enough damage to...
kill 1.
Yeah, no rend?
No rend.
5s? No, because I've done a wound. They have 2 health there.
That's it.
Okay, so I score a point over there, and I don't score what would have been 3 if I'd finished that off because I was stood in the centre.
So that takes you to 7 at the end of round 3.
At the end of round 3. So we're going to round 4. Now these rounds are going to be very quick, and at the end of round 4 we roll a dice. If you don't roll, if it's not already over, and if you roll a 1 or a 2, that's the end of the battle. So
Skeleton brings D3 back.
He does. 3. So there's going to be 4 skeletons needing finishing off there, and
so we're going to put them.
You better do another one.
Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, I don't.
Another one.
Because that's how maths works.
Yeah. There we go. So priority.
Yeah.
I'll roll it in there. 4. Well, conveniently all the same. So the orcs get priority. That's not going to help you. You're the underdog though, so take the twist. The same twist, so you can give it charge. It's got to be charge.
Well, no, first. Because you're going first, I can make these strike first, so they get to hit before.
Right, just double check the rule. I'm happy for that. If it doesn't say they have to have charged, check to the rule for that. The Mark was hoping to give strike first to these, but the twist you have to have charged in order to get the strike first. So these guys can re-roll charges and get strike first if they successfully charge, which you would have applied to the skeletons the last round, but it didn't really come in, did it? So, okay, so what I'm going to do is very little movement. I can't shoot anybody with these because they're in combat, and so we're just going to go straight to this fight phase.
Yeah, I'm going to all-out defense.
No problem. I'm not even going to all-out attack to finish off 4. So I've still got 7. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm just going to borrow my dice, but remember there's one there. Thank you. So it's going to be 4s, then 3s. Crits are mortals. So we've got 3 crits.
Quite a lot of 1s and 2s there.
Yeah, quite a lot of misses. So that big swathe of dice there is all out of the job. These are 3s to wound. So you got 2 at no rend.
2 at no rend. So we'll do the 2 at no rend first. So these are 4s. So we save 1. Okay,
so that's 4 wounds. So now you got your 4 mortals. 4 wards. So if you could save one of these, you're going to be in the same boat again. So 6 is needed. 6 saves are exactly the same. The one guy, he's just clinging on with his head popping out of his grave. It's a great little model, that.
Yeah, well, these are the Underworld's sepulchral guard.
Yeah. It's like one guy's half in his grave already, and he's the one that the Gut Rippers are failing to kill, which is preventing them getting the 2 victory points for seeing off the unit and the 1 for having the centre to themselves. He swings back.
So 4s and 4s.
Go and kill, and I've got 1 on a wound. Yeah.
Oh. So
yeah.
Done a wound. No rend. No rend.
So it's a 5 to save. No. So and I have 1 on 1. So 1's dead. Bye bye, Mr. Gut Ripper. So that guy on his own has single-handedly twice prevented 3 points occurring, and now he's killed 1 back. And so at the end of my turn, I score 1 victory point because I've still got the corner over there, and you can heal up your skeletons again.
D3
to keep us in there. 3, so they come back. All that dice rolling. So in fact, you came out that better because you get your 3 back, and the Gut Rippers are down a guy.
Well, hopefully the Vax Ghouls can do some.
Yep, and now it's your turn 4. And where are the Vargeists going to go?
They've got very similar names, so it's very...
I know, and you keep getting them wrong, and that doesn't help me at all, because...
So I can fly, but I can't actually get past that, so we're going to go there.
No, but they're going to be well within a decent charge, and they can re-roll it due to the twist, so...
6-inch charge.
6-inch charge sounds bang on. We're going straight in for that. And they get it first go, and they've charged, they will get strike first. So that means that they can hit the Gut Rippers, and then the Skeletons will be able to hit the Gut Rippers before the Gut Rippers hit back. So the only sensible thing in the world for me to do here is say all out defence.
Because
in fact, I made a real mistake. It was a fresh goal last time, and I declared that I wasn't bothered to try all out attack, and 1 survived. So that's that cost. But anyway, I'm going to all out defence from now anyway.
So we're going to all out attack with the Vargeist.
Yep.
Which is freeze and freeze. Crits doing 2. So,
that's good. The all out attacks helped you there. Oh, sorry. They are -1 to hit.
So back up to 4s.
Yeah.
So that, and then we add 2 in for the crits, 6 and 6.
Yeah.
Then freeze. Oh, I'm going to throw it at Tony. Good catch.
We catch and hold the camera, aren't we?
So that is
4.
4 at rend 1.
Rend 1. So they're back to 5 save with all out defence. So there's 3 through.
6 damage.
6 damage. So 3 are dead.
And then it's the little skeletons, isn't it?
It is. So now you have 4 skeletons trying to stay off 3 Gut Rippers. They're -1 to hit. I don't think I've rolled that every time. It's so hard to remember to do it every phase.
So we've got 9 attacks, because we've got 2 attacks each, and the champion gets an extra 1. So 4s and 4s.
So is it 4s or is it 5s?
It'll be 5s because of your ability. So only 2 hits.
Yeah.
Oop. And I'm going to throw that one out of the thing. And that is a miss, so he swings and a miss.
Nothing doing. So now what I'm going to do with my 3 Gut Rippers, they've used all out defence, so they can't use all out attack, is the 3 are going to swing back and try and hit the skeletons with a normal form. So it's 4s and 3s. The 6 is a crit.
I'm all out defensive with skeletons.
Yeah, so I didn't give you time to declare that, but I'm perfectly happy with that.
As I'm talking to Mark there, I picked up a 3 as a hit there. Am I right?
5
Cheat,
no rend here.
5 no rend, so saving on 4s. So 2. How much damage?
And there was 1 crit as well. So it's 3 total. So you roll your 3 wards. Save 1.
So save 1. So
2 dead.
2 dead. We'll leave the guy.
You've got to leave the MVP there. I don't like to make these decisions for you, but for me, he's definitely been the favoured for that unit to get the.
I think he'll have MVP
D6.
if he survives to the end. So D3 come back.
Yeah.
So 2.
So 2 more come back. So the 2 that died. So they just. Though it's been 4 for a while now, hasn't it? So that's the end of turn 4.
So yeah.
You have not scored anything there.
No, because I moved away from the corner.
You'd left the corner. You didn't kill off the Gut Rippers, which would have given you both the Gut Rippers points, which would have been 1, and then you would have had 1 for the centre, similar to me. So roll a dice. That's the end of turn 4. On a 1 or 2, the battle ends. The battle ends. So that's where it ends. And this could have been a much longer video. Well, it wouldn't be much longer. I think we just maybe done some shots and finish this off. But in Path to Glory, from the end of the 4th battle round, you roll a dice. If a 3 up, the battle continues. On a 1 or 2, it ends. You go to a maximum of 7 rounds. So we've rolled. It was a 1. I've got to let Mark roll the dice. Of course, it's going to be a 1. That's his favourite thing. So we will check the final score, which is
4 to me, 8 to Tony.
8-4 to the Kruleboyz. So we will do the wrap up with all the points and just summarise that for you. Okay, so game over. Kruleboyz winning out 8-4. It might have been different actually. Just double check the rules. You should have been scoring points within 12 inches of the corner, but actually wouldn't have made any difference. I think the Orcs would have scored a few more points if anything. So unfortunately, we're not galloping up with glory points for Mark. He gets 30 for taking part in the battle. Didn't get the victory, and Vladdy the Baddy did not survive. So only 30 added. Now he's up to 125 glory points. There are unit options he's got there, but possibly makes most sense to save them up. The other thing you can do in Path to Glory is you can look at your list. There's ways of taking out a unit and coming things. So we'll probably give it some consideration, or Mark will, as to whether he will reshape his 1,000-point army at all. And we'll show you that at the start of the next video, if that's the case. A couple of rolls to do. Well, Vladdy, you need to up your game, mate. Still's got no quest points.
No quest.
And he's died twice. And done more running away than killing. Right, so 2 rolls, because any unit that died gets 1 renown point, so none of those will hit the 5 points needed to be aspiring. But we have D3 for the Vargeist, because they survived, so rather than 1, they get 2.
So that's hex them to 5.
So they're 5. So they will now be given aspiring, so they can be put on a path. Which one were you considering?
I was considering Path of the Attacker, which means that they can hit on 3s instead of 4s.
So on the Path of the Attacker, they can take this full-on attack.
Yeah.
So with full-on attack, they'll have an ability to add 1 to hit rolls for attack made by this unit this phase. So once per battle, you can apply that. So they've got the ability full-on attack. So that's one of the sort of buffs that you get, which is unique to Path to Glory. And obviously, as they progress, they can take several of these, and it just makes that same unit a little bit beefier. So who's going to be your favoured for this battle, Mark?
I think I will pick the skeletons, because they really did hold out. It seems only fair.
This guy, this particular model, this cinematic camera might not show him very well. Let me just try and hold him up a little bit. This guy, there he is, did comically well holding his unit together and getting them to bring back and even kill people of his own accord. So they're getting D6 renown points for being the scariest skelly mobs in the land. Because Mark rolls the dice, they get 1. This guy's like, what the hell? I just sort of survived all that, and I still get the same as what if I had just died.
But they do get a 1 anyway for taking part in the battle.
Yeah, so they get the plus 1.
So it will take them to 5.
Yeah. Oh, right, so the skeletons got. Are they going to be attackers as well?
No, they're going to take Path of the Defender.
Defender, and which of these skills are they going to be looking at?
Hardened Resolve.
Hardened Resolve. So they're going to get heal 1 to this unit at the end of any turn. But when they currently heal D3, don't they?
Yeah.
So now they can heal D3 plus 1.
Yes.
Ah, very good. So I have to remember to apply that correctly. So up to after 3 battles, up to 125 glory points. We've got 2 units, one unit of Death Rattle Skeletons and 1 unit of Vargeist, who've been put on a path. Got the aspiring rank, and Vladdy the Baddy. The main guy here needs to go back to his war room, draw up some plans and see if he makes any substitutions ready for the next battle. But that aside, I'm really enjoying the narrative feel of Path to Glory. I'm enjoying playing the smaller battles. I'm enjoying the twists, the different scenarios. It's a new experience for us playing Sigmar this way, and it's great fun. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I've been doing a bit of a write-up with the story that's been going on, so we'll have to see what happens there.
Right, great stuff. Right, thank you very much. Until next time.